myself, Dr. Rosie Agnes de Sousa. I'm here to present to you about the scientific writings. This is a part 1 presentation wherein I'm going to explain you all how to write your manuscript. Now, most of the institutes in science, they have not taught the students exactly how to proceed with the scientific writings. They just teach you the most of the textbook stuff, or exactly how to do your various protocols or scientific experiments and get your results out. So once you go into the research line, then you come to know that you need to do your publications and all that thing, what matters in your career. So I want to get the students aware in initial, especially the graduate students. Once they take up the career in science, they need to focus on scientific writings during their dissertations, or when they do their project work in the colleges or in the various universities. That's the time they get a little bit of hang on about how you need to do your scientific writings, because you'll have to do your dissertation or write your thesis. So at that stage, okay, there are some scientific papers or journals which are available in the library or online. I need to go to and search it on. There are several people who are working in this particular area and so on. So here is something which will might help you all to write your manuscript. So basically, like, you don't know where exactly to start. You think, oh my god, this particular authors have published their research papers in the topmost journals, maybe in the publishers like Elsevier or Springer's and so on. And you might also have a dream to get your paper in one of the international journals or national journals. So you had several thoughts go into your mind, and you get confused where exactly to start with this manuscript, or how to get this particular publication in international journals. So these are various questions you might be having in your mind. So to get your anxiety related to this publication, this presentation might help you, because as being a researcher, even I had the same thoughts at that particular level of my studies, and I really have no idea or focus how to go about this various things. But I had done a lot of literature search, and kept on going through the various databases and getting ideas, and reading various matters, and going to YouTubes and looking at the videos how to actually do this writing. And at first initially it seemed very tough, but once I got a hang of that particular writings, I kept on writing, and I got my publications published in international as well as national journals, and also got awarded this PhD degree in mycology. So basically, now what is this manuscript is all about? Manuscript is it's like a storytelling. You get your results and of your experiment, and then you think you need to express this particular results of yours to the entire scientific community. So basically, then you sit and do a lot of literature search, what previous other authors or researchers have worked on that particular area and got some results. Let me compare my results with them. So that is like, actually, you write your story of what you have done about your experiment, and you make it available to the entire community of science, so that they can also perform the same experiment and compare the results and see what exactly they can obtain from your findings. So the research article, basically this paper, I'm going to focus how to write a research article and not a book or a review. So those have a different styles, and regarding each journal has its particular style of writing. So that part I'll explain it to the new presentations. But basically in this, I'm going to just explain you how to just create a layout of your manuscript and write it down, and get some informal structured manuscript. So basically it consists of your title and then your author names and affiliations, wherever you're working, that details, and then the context of the particular corresponding authors, whichever you're going to indicate in your particular article. Then there is an abstract followed by the introduction, giving a brief intro to your particular research, and then your methods and what type of procedures or experiments did you follow that come in your materials and methods. Then your results, whatever outcome you have got from your experiment. Discussion, it is all written by comparing your results with your previous researchers, what have they have conducted and obtained. And acknowledgement, whoever you want to thank, a particular scientific community and so on. And then the references, whatever papers or books and journals and articles you have referred to comes in the references. So this is the normal structure of an article, scientific article. So how does that is that first of all, after your end of the day, you conducted an experiment and your replicates are ready and your outcomes are all you have tabulated. So go back to your computer or in your scientific notebooks, just type that scientific data what you have written on your notebooks or lab notebooks to your laptop, and then make your particular tables of your results and figures. Figures will include like graphs, processing your data, or doing some statistical analysis of that particular data, and photos, which will include like how exactly you would conduct your survey, or materials and how methods, how you have proceeded in during the experiment, or your results, like what observations you have obtained, that have been also we need to be photographed. So once you have created your all this, you have organized with your laptop, then what you can do is that you have to write down your materials and methods for that protocol what you have used for your experiment. Now that protocol should be in very detailed protocol, and you just write it down with like what materials you use, instruments use, chemicals, the volumes, or measurements you have used. That should be, everything should be proper. So each section I'm going to deal in detail into the various sub presentations and later on, but in here I'm just going to tell you structure. So when these things are ready, you have your results in hand and materials methods in hand, then you know what is your results. So based on you have your results, you read your literature and find out to get a discussion why this was results was obtained, or what was this reason by comparing the other research publications, and find a gap in your particular results. Why was this was experiment did not follow the same result like what other authors have obtained. So then that's how you can keep on reading and getting your discussion part. Finally, after getting all these discussion points ready, you will come to a conclusion. So from this particular result and discussion, I could conclude so and so thing, so that you can conclude and give a significance to your study. Finally, you can go and cross and write your introduction. So now you've got an idea what this paper is actually heading to. Now you can think of your introduction. So after the introduction, you just brief your abstract, which will include a little bit of your methodology and your results. And finally, try to determine your title, which is concise, and also a descriptive title, which will be the long title for your paper. And concise is a short title which includes for the key searches. Okay, there is one book by Joshua. It says that writing science, how to write papers that get cited and proposals that get funded. In the scientific community, it's most important is that for your career you need to have a lot of scientific papers which are published in very reputed journals, and also you need to have various proposals or projects which get a lot of funds from like DBT and DST and so on. So step 1 is that you have searched a particular research topic to conduct your research. It may be related to anything, like maybe physiology, or it may be bioremediation or climate change, or any area you can think of. That research you need to carry out a lot of focused detailed survey by using various search engines like Google Scholar, Web of Science, which will give an idea about that particular topic. So once you know that particular topic and you've conducted, you know what type of audience you're looking out for, or what type of people you're going to target. Like you're going to target mostly only climate change interested group of phenological studies and so on. So once you know that particular thing, you have to structure your manuscript in that particular way so that it suits for that audience and they can accept it. So what exactly this introduction things means? It is like you have to start with the broad contents, like if you're working with fungi, you will say the fungal global estimation is so and so. Then you come up to narrow it down what fungi you are working on, then give an introduction to the art fungi. So that coming to narrowing down your topic, and then finally the questions which you're going to raise in particular research. Maybe now that particular fungi is more important in the bioremediation, so you like focus on that remediation part. So, and now don't forget to write the citation, or from like where you get that particular sentences from the other papers or published articles. You need to cite it down, the source from where you take down the sentence, but you have to always modify the sentence in the language, in simple language you can do. You cannot exactly copy the same words and paste it into your research article because of the plagiarism. Then it consists of a hypothesis in research studies. This is a hypothesis which you not need to write it down in your paper, but it is need to be in your lab notebook, or where you know how you're going to conduct your research experiments based on this hypothesis. So this hypothesis is like a statement, or wherein you have to test this whether this will be right at the end of the experiment or wrong. So you have to prove it or disprove this particular statement by doing a lot of experiments or series of experiments. So what you have to keep in mind in materials and methods is that you have to give a detailed and clear protocols of all the steps which you performed in the sample preparation or experimental designs, whatever you have carried out, the controls which you have used, the different instruments used, the model number and serial number and so on. Then the chemicals which are used, maybe the chemicals used are of which company or brand, like Sigma, High Meteor and so on. Or statistical procedures what you have carried out during your statistical analysis for your processing your results have to be also be written down into your materials and method. Mention if the standard published protocols, if you have used it up, or any changes you have created in that particular protocol. So that also you have to write it down, what modification you have made. So be clear and explain why also you have done it in the materials and methods. You have to give the explanation in your discussion. Be clear what measurements you use in the protocols. Like some people use it centimeter, they should not fail to put it as a meter. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Organize each sections of this particular materials and method into subsections. Like you can put it as a field collection, laboratory analysis, or experimental designs, and so on. And try to follow this particular sectioning into the results and discussion also, so that you get a proper flow of this research article. And results, what you're going to keep in mind that it has figures, tables, or data which is organized, and organize that by your key findings and objectives. Then you do not forget to write down the caption for a particular figure or a table, whichever you're going to use it in your paper. And also, when you're writing a result, do not mix up the discussion part in your results section. Be clear that like only this particular result is obtained, that's it, and that statistical information. So first you also provide your biological information of your result, that this particular culture and so on will produce some pigment or so on, and also statistical information that it produces this much of significant difference. Then in discussion, this is the key part of your paper or a research article to get published. So you have to do a lot of literature search and compare your results and try to see what you have found is novel or new to the science, or it previously has been reported, and what are the changes. You have to all jot down in this discussion part. So try to explain your main findings and how it fills the gap in knowledge and address all possible questions and hypotheses related to your results. So report how your results relate to your previous finding based on literature search, whether they are similar or different or consistent or inconsistent, and try to raise question why at every time and try to answer them into that particular discussion. Coming to conclusion, this is a part when you have to write a short significance of your research into like one short paragraph. In conclusion, should be also summarized how the outcome of your study, so what it leads to, or what you have concluded in entire study, and how the scientific community will benefit from this. So try to incorporate your new insights and interesting questions that arose as a result of your research. In acknowledgement section, what you have to do is that try to thank all the institutes which have helped you to do this particular piece of research, also who have provided you the funds, or the various researchers or colleagues who have helped you, or any scientific community who try to help you to do this research. In the reference part, what you have to do is you have to write all the particular reference. You have to cite it down in particular format, that is the author's name, the year, then the title, followed by the journal name, the volume, issue, or page numbers, and the DOI link. But this style of writing citation will differ from journal to journal as per their style of citation. Maybe they use Harvard style, or they may use a numerical style or alphabetical style, and so on. So that I'm going to explain it to you all in the next presentation. So whatever you read in literature, while doing a literature, not necessarily you need to put it down in your research paper, but whatever you are going to use in your research article, that all those details you need to cite at the end as a references. It may be the book, it may be the journal article, or a review, or any other piece of abstract. You have to give its reference. And you should always cross-check your references with your entire research article, whether you have properly cited it. Whatever is in text, it should be in the references. Follow the author's instruction style for every journal, based on that, which I'm going to give in detail in the next presentation. Use your reference citation softwares if you cannot keep a track of particular references, whether you have used it or not. Even Word has it reference citing option. You can use like EndNote, Mendeley to organize your references. So in the next videos, I'm going to explain you in detail how to write your materials and methods, results, discussion, conclusions, and referencing, and also organize your various research as per author's instruction, or how to use various softwares. So please keep in tune to this channel of mine, and kindly subscribe for getting more ideas of research. Thank you.